I guess a lot of people don't know what's bro science. So if I'm gonna explain it, it's more like Monday is International Chest Day. Tuesday will be Legs Day. Wednesday will be probably Back Day. You know. So every day it's a different split. Yeah. So but if you only do one body part per week, it does not elicit growth lah. Yeah. So this is not bro science from me. I mean, this is what I learned from this certificate called American Council of Exercise, ACE, which is quite well renowned. Yeah, so that's bro science lah. Yeah, but in actual fact, you want to target your body part as much as you can within a given week. Yeah, so that's
But how do you plan though? It feels a little bit weird in a sense where you just like you plan, you do this that day, and because from what I understand, you want to try to hit as much combined exercises as possible.
Yeah.
So I come from a very different route. In like when I was younger, I did rugby.
Yeah.
And
solid sport, bro. One of the hardest sport that I think besides boxing is rugby. Lots of injuries, man. Yeah.
But surprisingly, there's not much injury in rugby compared to football or soccer.
Oh really? I mean from the perspective of combat sports to rugby or soccer. What's the right term? Soccer or football?
I don't know.
Depending on which country I'm from, right? Then you get this.
Here's this thing, right? The history of the word soccer, it comes from the UK as well.
Soccer is UK.
No, but soccer was after being adopted by the US, right? Because of their American football. So after adopting by the US, right, everyone disses the US for using the word soccer.
And the origin is from UK.
It's from the UK.
It's so funny, isn't it? Yeah. So but I mean, I've done rugby and combat sports all my life. I mean, rugby when I was younger. So within that short span of my rugby whatever career I had, which is nothing much, it's only like maybe 2 years. I had more injuries than when I was doing wrestling, Muay Thai, boxing, and BJJ. Yeah. So you're talking about the splits, right? Yeah. So I think number one, right, when you are, like I was coaching you before, during one of the open gym hours in Spartans, I told you that you have to have an objective. If you are fighting, then the objective will be different, like, because if you're fighting, then you're an athlete. Versus someone like Daphne. Daphne, hello. So Daphne is one of our founding members in Spartans. So Daphne is more like she's just a tai, right? She doesn't need to do more than she should lah. So those two objectives are different, two different goals. So from that goal, right, then you reverse engineer what you need to do lah. So for example, if you wanna be strong in boxing, therefore you need to clock a few things lah. So there is a progression in strength conditioning where we call this periodization. Yeah, there's two ways lah. One is called linear. One is called, I forgot. Not non-linear, okay? Linear versus non-linear lah, basically. Yeah. So for bro science, I mean, for people who do bodybuilding, they also have periodization. Okay, so let's say we put you lah, right? So on the first month of training, we'll focus on cardio, for example, or muscular endurance, where you do more reps and not so heavy lah. Meaning when you're carrying your weights, right, it's not heavy but more reps. Yeah, then maybe that's the first month lah, muscular endurance. Then maybe month 2 is muscular strength, where you carry heavier but lesser reps. Then month 3 could be power, where you carry about 70% of your weight, or let's say if you can carry 100 kg of deadlift, you carry maybe 50 to 70%, which is 50 to 70 kg, right? But you want to carry as fast as you can. Yeah, so we call that power lah, right? Power is how much force you can deliver within a given time. Yeah, then maybe the last month, let's say month 4, is more about maintenance lah before your fight starts. Yeah, so I mean, for bodybuilding also different periodization lah. Yeah, so what do you do? You were sharing with me with your Dennis gym, right?
I went on for shoulder press, went on for deadlifts, but I was doing a lot more strength. So lesser reps, but heavier weights.
Yep. Yeah, correct lah. So it's more strength based.
Yeah. So I'm because I come from the place where let's build up strength as much as possible and see how it goes.
Yeah.
From there. I don't know. I realize my power is generally very like I'm not as snappy as a puncher.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, I can't do that. Let's see what I can do to compensate.
Yeah.
The whole the what I cannot do with
yeah. So basically, your current problem now is I have lack of power, right? So therefore, we need to gain more power, lah. So that means you want to do more powerlifting, lor. So how much can you carry in your deadlift? Your maximum, like, do you know, like your max ever in your life?
For now, I just reached 90, but I've done like 100 plus.
Okay, so let's say we put 100 kg lah. So we call that 1 rep max, right? So 100 kg is the amount of amount of weight you can carry within just 1 rep. You cannot do that more than 1 lah. So that's your 1 rep max. So for generating power, you wanna carry lesser than 100 kg because in order for you to carry that 100 kg is very tough. You will struggle. It cannot be like so simple, right? If it's so simple, that means you can carry more than 100 lah. Make sense? Yeah, so you want to carry 50 kg to 70 kg, but you want to lift quick. Yeah, maybe for 5 reps and maybe for 5 sets.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how you generate power lah. So in boxing context, you know how, again, we're not dissing any coaches. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know how some people will say, okay, let's develop speed and power. Take the 2 kg dumbbell, start punching fast. But if you realize it's quite hard to punch fast, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, you take a lower weight, like 1 kg.
But I do that.
Yeah.
I used to do that. Like you take dumbbells, right? So I used to go from between 2.5 to 5 kg.
To do punches?
To do punches.
Shit, man.
Like when I was alone in the gym lah, like not in the more like a bodybuilding because there's no one ma.
Yep.
And I do that because I realized in my head was like thinking, okay, now your hands are heavier. When you throw your punches, right, you do it slowly. But when you throw your punches, right, you tend to push. You tend to use a lot more strength.
Correct.
So I think I use that more like a strength and conditioning than like a.
So it does work, but not for the goal that you want. Means you are just building strength. So the best way, this one I think Danny Damar went to your podcast before, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he will say the same. So like to build power, the best way is to use the resistance band. Because the more you stretch the band, the more resistance there is. So that's a very powerful tool to develop strength, power. I think I taught you that in the gym also.
Yeah.
Or in class, you know, one of the stations where we do the punches.
I remember like Tony Spartans, they have they have the thing as well. You have put the thing as well.
Yeah. Isn't it for Buena Vista?
Yeah, for Buena Vista.
That one I set up.
You set up. It's like okay.
I think 50 punches. Is it? Must complete 50. 50 right, 50 left.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think it's 50 right, 50 left. You set up as a warm up or something like that.
No, it's just part of the station. It was a 10 station series, was it?
But I remember you saying that you do it as a warm up kind of like it's the first station because it's a warm up station or something.
Yeah. That was good times, eh? That was April 2021.
Yeah, I think so. Is it? Or is it March?
It could be March.
I think it's early 2021.
Yeah, that was good times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that exercise will help with power. Yeah, I mean, so if you need help with delivering to have a plan for power, just let me know.
But because I'm like I don't know how to deal with power and stuff like that. Like during sparring, right? I just like, okay, so how do I play around with whatever tools I have and stuff like that? Because it seems like everyone has an idea of how I should train.
Yeah.
Based on my stature and stuff like that. Because I'm not so sure whether you have changed your perspective when it comes to my sparring style, or is it or is it still very similar from what you have seen? But because everyone look at my stature and just go, okay, look, you should go outside, you should fight, you should spar outside, like go 1 round, and use a lot more footwork, right? And start sparring start sparring that way.
Does it work for you, do you think?
I think I get very tired. I now like halfway, like 50-50 on the idea of turning one round and starts, and because I like to stay rooted.
You like to stand and bang.
Yeah. So it's like they come in, just throw cross, and then they're like,
yeah.
And then they're like, oh, what's happening and stuff like that. And
yes.
I tend to catch timing. I tend to catch rhythm a little bit better.
So the reason why everyone says that is because you have the height lah. And when you have the height, you have long arms. You have one of the longest arms in Spartans. Not sure what you can do with it besides boxing lah. But you have one of the longest arms. So people will tend to say, yeah, stay on the outside, throw your jab cross, which you have also heard from me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said lah, you don't have enough stamina and you're flat-footed, right? So therefore you want to stay rooted, which I understand. So I think you got to find balance between the both ways of fighting. Number one inherent strength that you have is your jab and cross. That's for sure. Whether you want to move or not, it's up to you lah. Right. So I think number one, you gotta utilize your jab and cross no matter what. Do you want to outbox or not? It's up to you. Yeah. So right now, let's say you don't want to outbox. So you gotta learn how to use that jab and cross and transition into your close range fight lah. Middle range to close range, which is very tough also because fighting in the close range, meaning where both of us can hug each other, is tougher than when you are fighting outboxing.
I like the middle range, middle to outside.
Yeah.
A little bit better.
Yeah.
Because although I can't move that fast, right? Like I like the distance a little bit, but I like the distance is not because I want to run, but it's more like it's because I can generate more power to.
Yeah.
Or more, I can load up my strength to throw. I think that's easier for me. Like, but I also like the idea of like middle range because I can, my hooks, my looping punches is
correct. Yeah, you got strong uppercut and hooks. So my suggestion, I've said this to you before. Besides moving laterally, if you want to stand and bang in the middle, you have to start practicing your slip lah. Your slip and your parry and your defense. Yeah, so that you can, let's say someone comes in, comes in with a cross, for example, you can just slip and throw your uppercut and hook lah. Yeah. So I think besides your footwork, you should practice your head movement lah.
Oh, okay. But my head movement the idea of my head movement is just sleep. That's all. I don't do a lot like bobbing.
Correct. Do you know why you don't do a lot of bobbing and weaving?
Because I'm too tall.
Correct. So for relative speaking, Gary, you are how tall?
187.
I am 162. Let's do a quick math.
125.
I'm just relying on you. Okay, 25 cm. So for 25 cm is quite a big difference lah. There's no way you can weave under me. You can lah. You're gonna end up going through my crotch, right? So I think you don't have to weave unless you fight someone your height lah, like Theodore or Glenn.
But even with them, I try not to weave that much. I myself try to use arms to control their punches as well. So and I realize not a lot of people do that. At least in the gym, but I find that very useful in a sense because I got longer arms.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's easier to manipulate with their.
Right. Yeah. So I mean that's why middle range works for you best because you like to control the arms lah.
Yeah.
And the reason why I taught arm control in the first place was because of you. If not, I wouldn't teach it back then lah. So for whoever's listening, if they're not familiar with what's arm control, is literally what the term is lah. You are controlling their arms, preventing them from hitting. Controlling the wrist rather, right? Yeah. I think arm control is one of your strengths, but you gotta learn how to not use it too often. Yeah. It's it can be quite it can go against you if you do it too much. Right? So like I mean, so if you don't use the weave, you can use the slip. You can also, because you like to do arm control, you can use the parry. I think all this. So I think my current vision of you for your style is more like a person who stands and bang in the middle, but has very good defense using the arms.
Okay.
Not just the head movement, not just the feet. Yeah, but you also got to learn how to move your feet sometimes, right? Your pivot and all that. So I think number one is more about recognizing your strengths first, Yeah, and also your weakness, Yeah, so just to deviate a bit, like I'm quite vertically challenged, right? So same like what you experienced, people will ask me to infight, but I hate infighting. I like to play from the outside, the opposite of you.
Yeah.
So of course I grew up fighting like do you know who's James Toney? Lights Out. James Toney, Lights Out.
No.
Yeah, he's a bit like Tyson, but more slick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was, I think, middleweight I think so. So yeah, he's very, very weavy, very slippery. Always going to the inside, bang on the inside, then exit.
Very Jeb Dempsey, is it?
Jack Dempsey, yeah, but a shorter version.
Yeah.
Jack Dempsey is tall, bro. So I like to use my jabs. So or you can think about Daryl. Daryl's style is although we have the same height, similar, but we have very different style. Number one, because he's pro .
Yeah.
So I like to play a lot of jabs. Just like I always tell people, no matter how tall the person is, you can always outjab the person. Yeah.
I don't use a lot of my head movement, but I use a lot more like parry and arm control. My arms are always outside.
Yes, hand trapping.
Yeah, hand trapping.
Yes.
So it's like, and it's kind of funny to see like people who have different perspective, like jumping in and say, hey, because Jack Deal was there as well. He was like doing like he was shadowing Don.
Yeah, Donovan.
Yeah, right? Donovan. So and he was like, okay, you should because of my height, I should fight on the outside. I should go around. I should do a lot of.
That's a common theme between every coach, right? They will say, confirm one because you're quite vertical. I mean, you're quite tall, right? So of course people will say that. But again, I think you got to realize whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, then so that's a very tough part of coach. I mean, do you want to just let your fighter do what they want, or do you want to be more authoritative?
Authoritative.
There we go. It's but you gotta find a balance. And I'm the type where I will be more authoritative when I need to, especially when I need to teach certain techniques to someone that is good for them. Versus style, right? For style, I think every fighter is allowed to go through. It needs to have a growth mindset, right? You cannot just, okay, I want to fight like Tyson Fury, then you emulate his style, but you never really discover what you are really good at or what you're really bad at. So just like me, right? People tell me in fight, but I wasn't that good in fighting. I was actually good at outboxing. Okay. But my coaches never always tell me to go in fight.
Then this is the one thing that is kind of weird, because it's like, why? Because there's a lot of people who wants to fight, who wants to teach how they fight.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from a place where I just go, okay, because this is what I'm very used to. Like I was in the gym before Spartan's areas, so he taught like how he would fight. So he's if I did not guess wrongly, he's more like an outfighter.
Sri, is it Coach Sri?
He's a lot more like okay, look, you got to use your footwork. And a lot of people are like saying like, if you're looking at you're from Aries when you fight with your you're like on footwork and stuff like that.
Yes, correct. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Then what else?
So and I'm like, okay, so where do you draw a fine line in? Okay, who is like how you coach? Because I also know stories like doing legend sparring, one coach walk out of his
Is it?
the UFC coach.
Oh wow, so it's spread news.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you don't know, I was from UFC gym last time, right? And I'm quite close to that coach.
Yeah.
Well, but then everyone could see it, so I guess because it was live stream, right? So I guess everyone could see it. Yeah, yes, correct. Someone walked out. Yeah.
Yeah. So the coach, the cornerman walked out.
Yeah.
Of that and the guy of his fighter and at that point of time, like because it got so heated among, like, because the stories I hear is because the fighter doesn't listen to the coach so much that the like, okay, the coach, okay, you have to do this.
Yes.
But the fighter was like, I'm gonna do what I want.
Yep.
So it's like, where do you get the fine line in between?
I think it's very multi-layered, multifaceted. So I think number one, so if I were to, let's say you are new to boxing, you come in, you know what's jab or cross.
Yeah.
Of course, I will have to teach you the way it should be, I mean, I have to teach you the basics. I think. Very important when you start fighting, right? You have to have a huge trust in your coach, and the coach has to have a huge trust in the student, So that's why I've been telling everyone, if you have a coach that you like or that you trust, you should follow that coach. Yeah. So no matter how right I am, just listen to that coach first, because that coach will be the one that is molding you, To draw that fine line, I think this is also in Daryl's podcast, where he mentioned where sometimes when the coach says something and it doesn't work, you will. I can't remember what he said. I'm just paraphrasing. During that fight, he will have to change on the fly, so I think it goes both ways, As a coach, you cannot walk out like that. I will not agree to walking out like that. So number one is very. It shows a lot. I mean, it's not a nice scene to see, to see a coach walking out. So I understand, no matter how you're disappointed, no matter how much the person don't listen, you cannot walk out, that's my perspective. Number two, also the fighter, So the fighter didn't listen, and have you looked at the fight?
I only watched the fight that one time. So my impression of that fight is he was throwing very wild punches.
Correct. So okay, I just let you listen to the background. Listen. Just share the background. So that fighter, he is quite young. Very raw, unrefined. Unrefined means not good, but once he is refined, he will be one of the best. So right now he's not refined yet.
He sparred with us before, right?
Yes, during the UFC Spartans event, sparring event.
The scrawny.
Yes. He's only 14 years old, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But he looks older,
Yeah.
So since the first time I met him, and that was until the sparring event. So that was maybe 9 months. He didn't change. His style is still the same. Yeah. So I can empathize with the coach to why he is very frustrated. But the fighter haven't been listening to the coach. Yeah. So during that 9 months of training, right, there's this barrier that both of them have. So that fighter couldn't progress because he doesn't listen to this coach. He is actually more keen on listening someone to another coach that's out from that gym.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't say names Yeah, but now after all that happened, he is now in the other gym.
I just heard from someone that it's a very prominent.
Yeah. I mean, you hear this name, you know yeah. I think people in the boxing scene will know
Yeah.
It's quite. I think it's quite big.
Yeah, it's because he was the first few. I remember I saw that it's the first few places.
All right. Yes.
And I initially wanted to go to that place, but it's so far away.
Where's that? I was about to ask where. Yeah.
Yes. So then after that, I hear a few coaches who went there and trained before, or went there and spar before.
Yeah,
right? And they say like, to me, right, from what stories I hear, right, like their sparring etiquette is not as ideal as a lot of places where, or a lot of places where I would think it would be better.
Yes.
Like they would throw very heavy punches and you're like, are we doing technical sparring or are we going for hard sparring?
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
So sparring is scary. Like I've shared this story before. My sparring partner back in 2013 passed away, right? Preparing for a fight.
What happened?
So okay, so the whole national team boxing lah. So we have Hanudin, Hafiz, Ridwan, everyone lah. All the previous generation lah. The previous generation of the amateur boxers were there to help him to prepare for his first professional fight. So he has to cut weight lah. So I can't remember what weight he was fighting at, but he has to cut weight. And for those whoever fought before, right, knows that cutting weight will be the most dangerous thing ever. Not the fight itself, but cutting weight itself. So you have to lose water, you have to be dehydrated, no energy. So I think he had to lose maybe 8 kg, which is quite a lot. So I think that's number one. So number two, when we were sparring, we were wearing all our headgears, mouthpiece. Minimally, everyone was wearing 14-ounce gloves. Yeah, so we did Shark Tank. Was it Shark Tank or Round Robin? Okay, one of them. Yeah, so like I think there was 8 of us, including myself, with him. So we were all taking turns to spar with him. But he was so weak that he can still spar, but it's very, very weak. So I think he was super dehydrated. So what happened was, I don't know who landed the final blow. So what happened was, during that sparring session, during that round, he suddenly just collapsed. So we thought it was nothing. I mean, he just tired. So okay, we put him one side. Then from what I can remember, his eyes was rolling backwards. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? So his name is Sharil. Sharil the Bull. Salim. So, hey, Sharil, hey, okay not, bro? A bit dizzy. Oh shit. Then I'm like, okay, let's go to the toilet because he says he wants to vomit. So I carried him to the toilet. Then he just collapsed. Then after that, I knew something was amiss. So we called the ambulance. So we went to the, I can't remember which hospital. Maybe Tan Tock Seng Ba. Tan Tock Seng Ba, I think. So then what happened was that he had a hemorrhage. So that means blood clot, I think, on the brain, on the left side, the right side of the brain. So what happened was they had to cut the skull open to release the blood. Okay. So that there's no pressure on the brain. So that means when he was awake, right, after the operation, portion of his right skull is missing. Meaning your head, there's an indentation inside. Yeah. So, but dude, what happened, right, when we were all in the waiting area, so we were all talking, all of us was, knowing what happened, all of us was feeling gloomy. But we were, chit-chatting, just trying to keep our spirits up. Then sekali, the parents come here, right? All of us together, bro. All of us look down, it's on hindsight, it's funny because everyone's just it's just that every single person, 9% of us looked down because we couldn't face the parents. But our head coach was there, Our head coach is Arvin, one of the best boxing coach in Singapore. He was the one that had to explain to the parents, Then fast forward, he struggled. He fought for 1 year in coma, and he was in his he was bedridden for 1 year. And then he passed away November 26 November 2013, maybe 2014. Yeah, and it was big in the news. A lot of people in the martial arts scene was chattering about it. So I think Daryl also know this. So I think sparring, going back to sparring, right? That's why I'm quite strict in sparring. We don't want it. So when people spar, some people have the mindset where they want to hit someone. But in sparring, that's not what your mindset should be. Your mindset should be landing punches the way it should be. Trying to dodge punches, trying to apply what you've learned. And you have to practice restraint. Because it's your friend. Especially if you're going to spar with me, right? Your cross your 50% cross is like my 80% or 100% cross. Yeah. So I spot you before your jab I mean your jab is quite strong. Versus me, I'm only 62. Nah, who am I kidding? I'm 70 now. Yeah. But you're I mean significantly more heavier because of your height, right?
Yeah.
So
because I will practice restraint when it comes to my punches when I'm fighting, when I'm sparring with a lot of people.
Yep.
So there are a lot of times where I slip up, and there are a lot of times where I'll just go like, okay, is like I'll just like pause in the fight and go, did I go too heavy and stuff like that. But I will always try to control my strength, because I know that I'm very heavy, right? And I'm not, and recently there's a lot of people who come into Spartans. Like there's a few prominent ones, right, where you just fight halfway, just go, hey, how come your strength suddenly go so heavy? Or if not, they are very raw, they are very rough and very wild and undefined.
Are you talking about the person that I'm thinking about?
Actually, there are two, both J.
Okay.
one was a close friend of yours, and one fight with a cross.
Yeah.
Cross guy, yeah. So
close friend of mine.
The
okay, I know.
Yeah. So
he's a southpaw.
it's just so weird when we're like spar halfway, then after that go very heavy. Then I'm like, and I know there are times where I just go slightly heavier than I will usually normally.
Yep.
But I'll still try to like control. But when you go something so heavy, and I'm like my head was like, okay, fuck, I'm like, what is he trying to do?
Yeah.
Then when it started to continue, then I will go like, I want to take his head off and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean that's a common occurrence lah. So like, I think in the first place when someone wants to hit hard, right? So let's say when you spar with me, and suddenly you see me hitting hard, it's a good sign, meaning you are actually overwhelming the person. Yeah, but of course you have to communicate lah. Hey bro, you're hitting hard, man. But some people you communicate already, they still hit hard lah.
Yeah.
So that one is more like then you gotta bring that person one side and sit him down. So I talked to that person Jay already. I'm not sure whether he has improved or not after that.
I've not seen him for a long time, so I'm like,
oh crap.
Yeah, so I'm not so sure whether because part of me like just get him off or something like that. I don't know whether is it me, but I'm like, is it like so I'm not I'm not so sure that is it me like trying to be rough or something like that. But I did try to like, hey, you know what, I think I also very frustrated in trying to communicate along the lines that, look, you are going heavy, or you're going to No,
I mean I think I mentioned to you before, after you spoke to me about him, that weekend itself, after the Sunday class, I took 45 minutes of my time to really talk to him lah. He was a bit defensive also lah, a bit angry. And he would, so he knew that I was talking. I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So when I spoke to him, I also told him about how to regulate your power. So I'm not sure if I did this to you guys, where I asked you guys to punch each other at 10%, 20%, 30%. Then you should always punch at whatever level, whatever percentage you think the person will be comfortable with. So I showed him that. I think he came for one more session with me before I stepped down as a head coach. After that, no more already. Is it?
I don't know. I didn't see him for a very long time already.
If you remember, I partnered you with him. Remember we did the station? In the ring is full sparring. Outside the ring is technical sparring. I think that was the last session that he was there then.
Yeah. So I'm not so sure whether is it because I went in there. I'm not so sure whether is it because I go in. Okay, look, you are going too heavy.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to manipulate this kind of situation sometimes. Not manipulate. I don't know how to go in and maneuver around this situation sometimes. because like, I don't feel like it's my place.
Yeah.
But however, sometimes you just go around, you go, hey, look, you don't go so heavy. Like, why are you doing this shit like this? Like you don't want to scare people away from what do you call it? From punching it. Don't want to scare your sparring partners away.
Yeah, no, I think what you're trying to do is the correct thing, is the justified thing. I mean, I understand what you mean by maybe you don't think you're in the right place to say. Number one, then you should tell the coach lah. But if the coach keep quiet the whole time, then it's gonna be hard, right? So I think tell the coach first, whoever's there. That's what I'll do. But if I'm there, I already. I mean, I think all the coaches will probably say it like, hey, tone down. Yeah, but if the person continuously does that, then I guess we have to sit him down lah. Again, sparring is not about fighting, right? It's more about just control. So like you are hitting someone that is gonna hit you back, but you want to hit back, right? But the keyword isn't hitting. It's more like trying to be strategic about this. Like if you throw a jab, let's say a jab cross, I'm gonna do something about the jab cross. So I want to think. I don't want to just guard, and then just think about hitting you back. You know what I'm trying to say? Like a lot of people in sparring, they just want to hit. But they don't think about how to land. They don't think about what should I do to prevent this person's jab from hitting me and then countering back. Their mindset is, I want to land back a punch. He jabbed me 10 times. I want to land a jab back for 11 times. It's not the right mindset. And we can't really teach that. We have to... I mean, it's going to take a while to grow. Because my first sparring session, I was that boy. I was that motherfucker that hits hard. But my coach hit me back hard, and I got a very huge scolding okay I understand. So I took away time from sparring for a bit and then trained a bit more. And I came back and then he said okay. For that guy, he just went into sparring 2 weeks after his training.
Right. Oh man.
Yeah.
I was I remember my first sparring session was a former fighter.
Who was it?
Carlo.
Yeah. Oh, he has the same. Yeah, he has the same record as me. 14 fights.
Yeah. So it's like I'm like, whoa, because I went in, he go in heavy. He go in like he's one of the heavier punches.
Yes.
Then he go in heavy. I was like, oh, and I wasn't sure what to do.
Yeah.
But the nice part of him is that while teaching, right, after the sparring, that his first sparring session, right, we went off. And he taught me tips and tricks to deal with his style.
Yeah.
After that session, so I kind of appreciate fighters like that. Although you go heavy, right? But there's because you do maybe your strength, you're like, okay, you're not so sure what the strength is. Then after that you teach him methods to like, okay, this is what you should do, how you should do it. And,
That's boxing. That's what's boxing about, man. We help each other grow, It's not about hitting. Yeah, again, a lot of people have the wrong mentality in sparring, or rather, not the right mindset, So, then again, we have to. If we stop people from sparring, then there won't be enough sparring partners. So, we have to let people spar, right?
But you should. But I think like there is a line to like, because there's a younger Joshua. Right.
Joshua. Yes. Yeah. He just recently sparred.
Yeah. So he was like, okay, I'm not so sure. Like he wasn't sure whether to go in and stuff like that until like you talk to him.
Yes.
And that's and that's where I thought he improved a lot. Like in a sense where he tried to do things.
Yep.
When he first time going for the sparring class.
Yep.
Then now that there's a jump in improvement.
Yep.
Right. Still, I think he's still got a very, very long way to go.
Yeah, of course.
But it feels like he has like a you can see his improvement.
Yeah, he has a thought process behind it, right?
He has a thought process. So which I find really exciting to see people like spar like that and
No, see, you don't wanna you see someone fight like wild and stand and bang and wild, then it's quite boring. There's no anyone can do it Just get someone out of the bar after 5 pints of beer, then start fighting, right? But I mean, just like Joshua, I'm personally developing him a bit. I taught him how to spar a bit. So glad to hear that he's doing good. Yeah. So that's how. There's no right or wrong sparring etiquette. It is what it is from each person's perspective. But going back to that said gym, it's hard to give comments about it because they are the gym is affiliated to someone, right?
Yeah. So, the name is very prominent in it.
Yeah, whoever's in boxing scene or martial arts scene listening to this podcast, they'll know. I and a lot of my friends are from that gym. Yeah, my former rivals are all from that gym as well. And I from a perspective of a coach, I will not align to that kind of etiquette lah. It's really, I must take care of you guys lah. Sayang a bit. Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you guys go hospital, right, I will kena. Right? The coach lah, whoever. Yeah, so it's quite lah. From that stories and all that, sparring is sparring is more of a learning thing lah. It's a learning process. It's not hitting.
So there's this one thing where I'll ask is like, so if but how did it? Is it because they are the first boxing gym to open, or they are the one who's that started the whole scene, or is it because they are? Because I think boxing just burst up. The boxing wasn't so popular until like last year or the year before, or until like 2019, where everyone I know everyone started in droves going to the boxing gym and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it seems and there's a lot like boxing fitness.
Yes.
There's boxercise, where everyone started doing that.
Yeah.
And trying to keep fit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
no, I think number one, circuit breaker just boosted the fitness industry. Look at Decathlon. Suddenly opened at a certain point. So I think it's good to if you're right, like after 2020, right, the number of boxing gyms and the number of gyms in general just spruced up. Look at how many bicycles are out there in the road. So a lot of people, dude, I also bought a bicycle. so I'm one of them, right? But I'm a mountain biker, I don't go on the roads. So boxing has been here for quite some time since when was Singapore independent?
1965.
Right? So probably after that I think so. I don't know before that happened or not. So I think probably 70s . I think Jack Do is from that era, the 80s or I don't know . But so that said gym, it's not that they're the first or the biggest. They're not the biggest . Definitely not the first. But because the gym is affiliated to the once I say this, whatever. So it's affiliated to the person that is the head of the organization of boxing, right? The person's name, boxing gym, of course . Jake's boxing gym. Let's say I'm an Olympic gold medalist. Then okay . Then that gym is one of the prominent one because of the figurehead. Just like Legends. I think Ridwan did it right. Like he uses his credentials and he's worked hard for it. And to create 2 more Legends outlets in Singapore. And Ridwan, I used to not follow him a lot. In fact, Ridwan, I forgot which gym he was from. Was it KBS? I can't remember which gym . Before Legends when he was in an amateur. Or was it Farrer Park? I can't remember. So anyway, in fact, because my fight team is against his gym a lot of times . So I was always against Ridwan back then. And Ridwan is very when his amateur career, isn't it? I mean, a lot of losses. I think he shared with people before that his first 7 fights were losses. Yeah. So his growth is quite good in the sense where right now in boxing scene he's the figurehead. Yeah. Besides that person we're talking about. Yeah. He's phasing out right. So I think even also Legends, they are gonna be one of the figurehead . Like dude, whatever they're teaching is good. Yeah.
But how old is Ridwan? Like I feel like Ridwan is super
30 plus
young.
30 plus. Yeah. I'm not sure how old, but 30 plus . I think younger than Daryl definitely, but older than me. Yeah.
There's this one, but having like fighting in like the boxing thing, right? Like he managed to make a career out of boxing.
Yeah.
And which is rather unheard of or at least in Singapore.
Yeah, I think he's one of those that have made it best lah. Yeah. Besides, there's this guy named Rizal. I think he was one of the champions as well. Not many people know him. I am not sure what that fella doing lah. No. Maybe I don't know. Yeah. Fash also. Fash for the women's scene. Yeah, she's the figurehead. Fash and Leona. If I'm not sure if you know him, her Leona Hui. Yeah, there. But
how? Okay, so I'll be attending to her class later.
Okay.
So I'm not so sure how is she.
Fash.
Yeah, Fash. So I'm not so sure how is she coaching like.
Well, as a coach, I don't know lah. As a fighter, she's quite good lah. I mean, good is a perspective, but I mean, let the credentials speak for herself. I mean, she's good as a professional, but as a coach, I don't know. I thought you went to a class before.
Did I? Is she the one in Balestier? Where?
Yeah, Balestier lah.
Oh, then maybe I went to a class before.
I'm pretty sure you went to a class. You told me the lady, right?
Yeah, the lady. But I'm not so sure whether is it Fash or is it with someone else. But she was the one that did with Tony Spartans.
Yeah. Fash lah.
Yeah.
Fash was the GM there lah. Yeah. So she's the one. Yeah, she's teaching now.
Yeah, she's coaching in the. Like there's a bunch of people that I've never seen before.
I know. I wonder why.
but are they okay? Here's a little tidbit about this. There's like are they bringing head coach? Like how is head coach being like how do you find a head coach then?
So actually the position of head coach is not anyone can take one. It's I think the head coach should have a visionary mindset for boxing, number one, and number two, he or she has to be in the position where he or she wants to develop the gym, the fighters, the members. Not just hiring someone as full time lah. So that's number one. So Spartans is growing, right? I think now they have already got 10 outlets. I think they're gonna expand more. Yeah, so it's hard to find new coaches now. So sometimes we have to have no choice but hire someone who's interested to be a head coach, but not at a head coach caliber yet, and groom the person lah, him or her lah. Yeah, but to have a head coach, if you want to be a head coach, then it's more like a teaching job lah. You want to have to be able to give and be happy about someone's progress lah. Yeah.
There's this one thing that I think is like, how would you teach because this is like coaching, like how do you teach a proper, like what's the proper, like if you want to throw technique, like this slightly technical part is like, how that there's a certain jabs that you want to throw, right? But that you see but the way you spar or the way you fight, right? Like throwing jabs, right? It's not. I don't use the ones that I kind of learn off. In like I don't throw like the perfect jab.
So you are saying if you are throwing the jab that I don't teach lah, is that right?
Yeah. So I use a lot flicker and stiff jab.
Yes.
But everyone seems to be teaching the same jab where you have to stand on the ground, you have to throw, you have to twist, and then I said that little minute thing where you throw your punch is and stuff like that, right? Yeah. When you catch your feet, like there's everyone's teaching that.
Yes.
The perfect, I would say the
textbook jab.
The textbook jab.
Yeah.
But in sparring, you would do like I think people would do different kind of jabs going in.
Yes.
So my jab would either flake out. If not, I would not throw directly in the center. I would more towards the right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the irony of boxing. Whenever you start the journey, you have to follow a structure. As you go about years and years of learning, you will deviate away from the structure lah. The reason why coaches, so number one, in a class setting where everyone is a mix of demographic, you being a fighter caliber, the other person being a Thai caliber, we cannot teach a flicker jab lah. Because a flicker jab, you need to, it's not safe for the person. Right? You have to be at the right position. You have to have a long arm. Like, for example, Daphne doesn't have long arms to do a flicker jab.
Yeah.
So, but for you, because you have long arms, flicker jab will work best. So, like Mayweather, he has very long reach relative to his height. So, his flicker works well. So, I think in a class setting, you have to teach a structure-based technique, following the basics. So, the basics will teach you how to control your weight shift. The basics will teach you how to see the lines, the angles. In sparring, that's where you experiment. Sparring is your experimental phase. Where you, let's do the basic jab. Okay, elbows doesn't flare out. Go through the center line, right? Okay, then the flicker jab. The flicker jab comes from the bottom up, for example. This works. So if you learn the basic, right, you can actually discover more things. If you first learn the flicker, you couldn't really see the angles. Right?
Okay.
The angle is different from a straight jab.
But that's a question, like, because you don't use that style of jab that much, then how do you know that you're throwing? How do you know? If I'm a coach, I would not. There are times I just go, okay, I do not know whether I'm throwing. If I got this idea, what happened if I screw up the textbook jab? Because I've not used the jab very often if I'm a fighter.
Yeah. So a textbook jab is... So I think the textbook jab is not that hard. It is really just going through the straight line. So I mean, of course, different person have a different degree of throwing a straight punch depending on how long the arm is or whether the person got injury or not. So I think if there's no wrong or right lah. A jab is a jab is a jab. The jab lands, whether the jab lands or not matters. If you want to throw the flicker jab, so be it, go for it. But you have to understand the pros and cons. So if you remember the boxing development class, I teach something out of the textbook method. It is very different. I even teach the the backstep shuffle while hand trapping and all this. That is something beginners don't learn lah. So I think it depends on the context. As a coach, you have to adapt law. Like, okay, if this is a fighter team, fight team, we can go advance a bit. We deviate away from the basics. But if this is where ties lah, students lah, drivers lah, or whatever lah, all come down together, then we have to
teach
make
them
it structure
more structure.
If not, then everyone do flicker jab, then
all the fancy
X guard, don't know lah, long guard, suddenly do Muay Thai guard lah, So you have to have structure lah. If not, cannot learn.
I'm like, man, I remember like there's Titus came in and he was like doing the long guard. I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I'll try to adopt that and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, you can always experiment, right? But you have to understand whether does it work for you or not. You cannot just... So like, everyone wants to be like Mayweather when Mayweather becomes great, right? But then it doesn't work for everyone. So what you can do is take a bit of the style, incorporate into your style. So I use the Philly shell when I'm in close range. Just a bit. Then in far range, I use I call this the long guard lah. So you have to adapt lah. I think that's the current evolution process of boxing. You don't just stick to... there is still style versus style. I remember you had a conversation with Daryl in style versus style. It is still that. But just like Daryl said, it's not about whether this style is better than that style. It's about how each fighter manages the person's style. So the more you learn, I think it's good to incorporate more styles. So like getting more weapons into your arsenal, so that you can take different arsenal for different things, different weapons for different things, which is quite hard.
Because I'm like, okay, let's see how things are going with the different styles of fighting.
Because I realized like there are 4 styles of like in online that everyone's like raging about the 4 different styles of boxing.
Slugger.
There's slugger.
Outboxer.
Outbox.
Fighter boxer.
Yeah. Then there's this in-fighter.
In-fighter lo, yeah. In-fighter boxer. Boxer is outboxing lah.
Yeah. The pure boxers. I don't understand like certain style.
Yeah.
Going in like there's boxer fighter and fighter boxer. So apparently there are 2 different styles, right? But I get is I remember I tried in fighting before when I first started out.
Yeah.
So it's like, it did that. Then I realized, it doesn't really work that way as much.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So then I remember like going like, I'm not exactly a very Muhammad Ali outboxer.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't move a lot.
Correct.
Then I'm like, but right now I can move a little bit more compared to when I first started, right? And but I wouldn't bring in pendulum.
Yeah.
Into my fight style.
Yeah.
So I'm more, so right now I'm in between slugger and outboxing.
Yeah, so fighter boxer lah, for example.
Yeah.
Meaning your base style is a fighter, where you want to just stay put, stand and bang, but at the same time you have the means to move a bit.
Yeah.
Fighter boxer.
So and just like a weird way of like, okay, look, this is how people fight, and like how styles, like different styles of fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you learn, the more you learn, the more things you discover, the more you can just adapt to new things. Like I would use, people with long jabs. I think it's illegal in boxing lah, but I like to catch like that. I used to, so like when you throw a long jab, because the longer the person has, the longer hand the person has, the easier for me to time the jab. Yeah, versus a shorter person with a shorter hand lah. So I tend to catch like that, like as if you are trapping the mosquito. So I mean, so the pairing lah. So the root fundamental technique is pairing. So I don't use parries a lot with people who are fast. With people who are fast, I put my hands up. I do a high guard technique. I will use my head movement a bit. Only once or twice. But people who are slightly more powerful and not as quick, I will be more agile. I put my hands down a bit, play around. Yeah. So I think the evolution of boxing is more about the more we go through the years of boxing, the more we learn. The more people discover new things. Philly Shell wasn't big back then. Now it's big, for example. So yeah,
Philly Shell is big because of Mayweather, right?
I guess so. I mean, a lot of people use it, but not as well as Mayweather. He's the master of it. No one can beat him lah.
I like I was going towards the, because I'm getting I was watching a lot more old school boxing, like where it's like
the golden era lah.
I think even before the golden era.
So like Dempsey,
Ryan.
Before World War I.
but it seems like because it's the first few stages of like boxing, right? Where you can see the root of techniques, like the technical roots coming from that place. Right now everyone's using some styles from different things, and you're like, it's cleaner in a sense. It's cleaner to see how people.
Yes. No, that's true. It's cleaner right now. It's more refined lah. I think more refined.
Yeah.
It's, I think, the same as technology law. Same like cars lah. Everything becomes more refined.
No, it's like I think previously, because everyone is not mixing anything.
Yeah. That's true.
Right now everyone is mixing everything.
Okay.
So Jack Dempsey era, it's more, although it's raw, but you can see. I can feel like when I watch it, it's cleaner in a sense.
Less complex lah.
It's less complex, and like why it goes along that way. And
but I think boxing doesn't. I think boxing came from, what's that word pugilism Pugilis Olympic. Last time when Olympic first came. Pugilis I mean, even wrestling, right? It's an Olympic sport back all the way since the Greek. I don't know when lah. Definitely, I don't know when lah. I think before Christ period Yeah. So I guess it evolves because the sport became bigger, so it become less, not less clean, but more. There's more things to see lah. Because now the sport gets bigger, because a lot of people now watch it. So in order for people to get more entertained, people have to win fights, and to win fights now you have to be different. You cannot always be the same, because otherwise people will know what you are doing. So I think that's the current evolution. Say like MMA lah. Yeah.
But sometimes because of all the complexity, you don't know what to look for. I realize it's harder to look like, okay, so this is what he does.
Yeah.
Because you try to emulate stuff like that. Because I remember like you're asking you're texting me about like house boxing and stuff like that.
Yep.
So because I got like last couple of weeks, a few days ago. Then last couple of weeks I got COVID, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Now okay, yeah.
Now recover already.
Okay.
So he was like, so you're like telling me. So I was like doing the. So I remember like all I did was like 10 minutes of shadow boxing, every day. Yeah. So it's like, because I saw this like, okay, right hand or right cross feint. Then it was Triple G and Loman Manchego.
Yeah.
I was like doing like right cross feint. Then after that doing like a uppercut and a hook for doubling up.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So I've been doing that and incorporating that into my to my arsenal. Like okay, maybe I'll try that rather than just throwing the usual stuff that I've been throwing to like spice things up and
yeah. No, but yeah, I mean it's always good to have the base first, right? And then you branch out from there, lah. Because I think I mentioned this in class as well. If all else fails, if you feel like shit, always go back to your fundamentals, right? Just throw the damn jab, lah. Yeah, I mean, learning the basics will allow you to learn more, lah. That's how people don't see it until they feel it, lor. Yeah. So yeah, lor.
So like I'm going back to the history of you like fighting and stuff like that, right? Like do everyone changes their gym a lot? Like if it feels like everyone changes at least 2-3 gyms.
Not wrong.
Like even throughout their career and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or at least in the Singapore scene, where there's not like a.
Yeah. So for myself, so I started at Juggernaut Fight Club.
How is it? I feel like Juggernaut I feel like Juggernaut Fight Club is a club that's full of tragic stories.
I don't know why lah, but I mean, besides the sparring thing, no, Arvin is the head coach. He is a great coach. He also went to Angelo Dundee's gym.
Oh,
to get certified under him lah. He has some cert under WBC and all that. I think it's more about not just the gym, not just the coach, but the people also. And so I stuck with Juggernaut all the way during my prime years. Shit, how long ago was that? So I started fighting in 2012.
Okay.
So that was 10 years ago. I stuck with them before all the way till I went to NS lah. And the reason why I didn't go back to Juggernaut is because the friends that I know there already left.
Okay.
For whatever reasons, be it political reasons or actually political reasons lah. So I mean I don't feel like going back because all my friends aren't there. So yeah, I went to another gym. So there are a few reasons why people don't stick to one gym. Either because the coach left, either because something happened really like interpersonal problems inside. It could be was that one person went out and cheat with the other person's girlfriend or whatever. Like it could happen, right? That could be one. The other one could be the coach not giving attention to you. I think that's your case, right?
Yeah.
Which gym? I don't know. I don't know which gym. So all these small reasons lah. It's like going to like what's the right analogy? No, how do you know what's your favorite drink until you try all the drinks, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I've only jumped. Let's see, Juggernaut Fight Club. Then I went to Prime Fight Gym. So Prime Fight Gym was at Geylang back then, nearby Kade Boxing School. Interesting. I don't know. So nearby Kade Boxing School. So Prime Fight Gym was actually a Muay Thai gym lah. Yeah.
But do people go to Muay Thai gym and learn boxing? It feels like a weird combination.
I was weird lah. No, but because why? Oh, so when I was going, after NS, right, I didn't want to go back to the scene anymore. So until
Why? Is it because you're too tired of the scene?
tired lah, tired. You can ask all the fighters, very tiring one. So there was this request from this gym that they are looking for referees lah to get involved in refereeing and judging in a fight competition. So the fight is called Internal Affairs.
Okay.
Yeah, very interesting name. Internal Affairs 4, the 4th fight. So yeah, I went to the gym to learn how to referee, learn how to judge. Then I went through the event lah.
Yeah.
So I met this coach named he's a Muay Thai coach. He is a crew now. So crew is like a master level of Muay Thai.
Okay.
So he's a Muay Thai coach lah, but he also does boxing. He also taught boxing. So after the whole fight, right? So whenever you watch a fight, right, you will always have this motivation to train one, to fight. Okay, tomorrow I want to start fighting. So that's what happened lah. The next day, I went to the gym, start training already. I train both Muay Thai and boxing lah. Yeah. So but I told my coach I want to fight boxing lah. Yeah. So we went to fight in 2018. That was my final fight. Very. It may seem like an excuse, but what happened back then was what happened every time I fight, right? I always get sick.
Okay.
Always one. I don't know why. I think because me cutting weight lah and lack of rest. I always get sick. So, two things happened. I had to go through the Triple F event, Friday fight night at the ring nearby us. 1 week before the fight itself lah.
I want to ask like how is the ring and stuff like that? Like I want to go in there, act like I don't know I don't know anything. Just go in there and start.
I think it's a good place to do everything you need.
Okay.
They have. I mean, the space is huge, dude.
Yeah.
They got everything lah. The coaches all okay lah. I mean, Hamza is here. Hamza is there. Who else? Okay lah. I mean, the ring is okay lah.
The ring is okay.
Yeah, you try lah. I don't know. How to wrap your hands. Yeah. So after that, I went. After 2018, I fought Wen Chong from Spartans downtown East. I lost that one. Because again I was sick lah. So my health wasn't great. A lot of people thought I could have won, but no, I lost because I couldn't handle his what do you call that? It's very interesting. He's very tall for 60 kg, but his infighting is good. The way he managed the infight is good. Yeah, so that's why I lost lah. I lost by points. Yeah. Then after that, I didn't join any gym until I was teaching boxing here and there lah, freelance. Then I went to Spartans law as a head coach. Yeah, so that was my story. But I'm not actually good at boxing. I'm actually better at MMA lah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm more of an MMA fighter actually. Interestingly.
Have you ever thought of yourself like, okay, so right now I've asked this question with Daryl. So this is the question I'll ask you again. Like, so when you stop, have you ever thought of like saying, okay, what am I going to do next and stuff like that? Like because I feel like it's a natural progression, right? At one point you're just like, okay, I'm too old for this shit, or I'm not interested in this shit anymore. Like, have you ever thought of like what's the next, like when that happens?
It can happen either forcefully or slowly, right? Forcefully means something bad happened lah.
Yeah.
As a fighter, I can just drop it. I don't have the desire to fight anymore. But I will be involved in boxing as in a coaching perspective lah. When do I stop? I'll let you know in about 20 years lah. I'll come back here. I don't know. So I think what's next? I don't know whether I can just set aside boxing away and just continue what's next for me. But so I'm a bit different from Daryl. I can afford to do that because I have other things that I want to do. Should I share that?
Sure.
So I'm not sure if you know. So my plan next year, or rather right now, the current plan is to go to Japan because my partner is there. I'm gonna jump into cybersecurity lah. But while in Japan, I'm not gonna cut my boxing away. What will be next is for me to go from a coach back to a student lah. Because I'm gonna go to Yokohama. You know who's Naoya Inoue?
You got to explain.
Naoya Inoue? Don't know.
Don't know.
Naoya Inoue is second best pound for pound in the world.
Okay.
Below Canelo.
Oh shit, really?
And you don't know him, right? That's the bad thing about Japanese boxers. They don't get enough credit. Because they don't fight well enough in the States.
Yeah.
So Naoya Inoue, his nickname is the Monster. He's a bit like Eric. Eric is not heavyweight, but his power is like heavyweight level.
Oh yeah.
Same like Inoue. Inoue is only bantamweight.
Okay.
That is 56, 58 maybe. But his power is damn high. Damn powerful one. And he's a body shot master. Yeah, so I will go to his gym, hoping that I can train with him and his father. The father is a coach lah. And maybe one day, hopefully, I can hold pads for Naoya Inoue. And then when Naoya Inoue wins his 6th title belt, then I'm just gonna go into Instagram, casually just post, hey, look at my friend Naoya Inoue winning his 6th boxing title fight. I was just helping him prepare for his fight. What do you think of my credentials after that?
Go away.
Yeah, so that's one of my plans also to go overseas, to go to Japan, where boxing is one of the prominent sport there. And when I come back here, at least I can give a bit more lah. Yeah, so I think boxing is part of my identity now. I cannot completely just stop unless I'm forced to. But if I have to, I have things to do anyway lah. So it's not like, wow, no more boxing, shit man. Let's just start taking drugs and go down the path. No lah. Motorcycles is my passion. What else? Cats. I got 7 cats at home. Cat cafe already. Yeah. How about you? What do you? What's boxing to you?
It has evolved quite a large part of my identity now.
Boxing?
Yeah.
Evolve like within when?
Like I take up like it used to be like a lot of my time. So I try to do stand-up comedy, right? Yeah. So I think it's because of circuit breaker. Then I stopped the drinking. Then I try boxing.
You stopped drinking.
I stopped the drinking as much. Like, I used to be able to finish like a bottle, 750 milliliter to at least half of it almost every night.
Oh shit, man.
I was a big guy. Like I was like, and sometimes I usually drinking alone, but never to the, but it happens once or twice. But I never drink until like I black out lah.
Yeah.
But it does happen from time to time lah. So I was doing that, right, and I was doing stand up, and I was very bitter about life. Then after that started.
And when was that?
That was about 2-3 years ago.
Oh, this got recent, huh?
That when it ended lah. But
right.
But it happens like when I was 19 years old, 20 years old.
So that's like what, 8-9 years?
8-9 years. But like there's a progression lah. Like okay. I hit the checkpoints before I can finish half a bottle every night lah. So
still got, it's not like game radio. Okay.
So I was doing that, right?
Yeah.
Then I was like, I because I'm like I wasn't progressing anywhere and stuff like that. It's only after that circuit breaker, then I was driving Grab. Then I'm like, okay, now alcohol is out. Like I cannot.
So wait, you were driving Grab before also or no? Just
it started. I started around 2019 drinking.
Okay.
As much. So and after a while later, I realized I don't miss it. I don't miss drinking. Then boxing come in about 3-4 months. About 3-4 months later.
Yeah. How do you find out about boxing, or why do you start?
I don't know. It's like I just thought, okay, maybe try boxing. It's more novel, right?
More novel. Okay.
It's like there's novelty in there.
Yeah.
And I don't think this plays a part, but my dad used to be like a martial artist.
Yeah.
As well, but he's Chinese martial artist lah.
The Hangka, all the.
But apparently he sparred before, so
okay.
So I'm not so sure how much credential he has lah. But he was a coach lah, basically, as well. But the Chinese martial arts lah.
Right. Yeah.
in the what 50s, 60s, in the 60s, in the 50s, 60s, right? So and but there's no martial arts in my house. Where my dad say, hey, he will teach, but it's more like jokingly and stuff. They do like a fun kind of thing. Like there's no martial arts in my house. So then after that, I decided to do boxing. So it's like and there's a weight loss of 30 kg. I was 120 to 95.
How many months is that?
That's about the my weight didn't drop until when I joined you guys. So it's like 3-4 months.
Huh? 3-4 months, 30 kg.
Wait, September to December.
This was when
No.
Right.
I think about 6 months. 6 mons in.
Oh, but that's still a lot, man. 30 kg in 6 months.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I was unconsciously doing intermittent fasting. So it's like 1 meal a day. Then I was like then I went to boxing from 3 days a week to like 5 days.
This was in Spartans or Aries?
Well, Aries was like 3 times a week.
Okay.
Then Spartans was like from 5 times a week, I guess.
Oh, that's quite a lot. 5 times. Yeah. Okay. So 30 kg, 6 months, and I think why? Number one, you did intermittent fasting lah. So generally, I mean, if you have lesser calories, then you consume less than you burn.
In my mindset, it was very simple: calories in, calories out. So it's like
Lesser calories in lah.
yeah, it's like, and I was like 1 meal a day. If you eat 1 meal a day, you can eat as much as you want because you'll never hit you cannot have 3,000 calories at one.
It's hard lah. It's not easy to cook 3,000. Yeah, not wrong. I mean that's the part where you lose weight, lor. People lose weight because of the calorie. You call it calorie deficit, lah. Wow, 6 months. Okay, then what else about boxing?
Then after that you start. Then after that it went on a little bit more. Where it's like 5 days a week. It was 5 days. Then after that, but 5 days is once per week, like once per day. Right now, it's like there are times I just go in earlier, but because like it gets more and more. I think after started sparring,
Yeah.
There are times I just go in the morning as well.
Oh yeah, I remember morning and evening, right?
Yeah, morning and evening. Then it works out well as well because Eric, Calvin was there. Then it kind of like, at least and Buddy was there as well.
Yeah, the golden era was for Buena Vista, which is months ago only. Yeah.
Buddy, Neil, and I think Tony Spartans helped as well.
Yeah. It was our prime lah. To these buttons.
Yeah, there's this clique going out, but like there's a lot of friendship that was being built and stuff, and everyone's
just knitted, well knitted lah.
So everyone's like pushing everyone up, and I remember I lose a lot of weight that side as well. I was like looking at my face back then versus my face now. I was like, wow, it's like I dropped.
Oh, good for you, man. And your IPPT you got passed with incentive,
silver.
Right? Oh, silver. Oh, solid lah. Damn.
I'm like, I didn't know how it happened.
It just happened.
I'm like, okay lah. I'm like, my push-up was like a lot more. It's like a lot more than I expect myself to do. Because I'm like, just do 15 is enough. 15 is enough. 15 is enough. Then you push like 10 more, 25. It's like,
Yeah.
oh fuck. then my running is like, okay, I don't know how far I can go. But because because the IPPT is on Thursday.
Right.
But my Tuesday itself is like they do a circuit.
Wait, this is during reservists?
During reservists.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing circuit. It's like when I do circuit, it's like 100 meters, and I wasn't.
Sprints lah.
They say it's sprints lah, but I wasn't doing sprints lah.
Yeah.
Because like Thursday I got IPPT.
100 meter brisk walk. Yeah.
But I was doing like jogging, and I realized I wasn't going very. I wasn't tired at the end of the day, but my running got a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I expected my running to be better, but not that much.
Yeah.
So it goes like it's like I was running, then they are like that I was running. It's like 100 meters. I was jogging lah. And I can see myself like pulling away from the rest of my platoon mates and stuff like that. And I can see some of them are like running already. So
knowing reservist personnel, I know lah. I mean, struggle.
Then they have Then the officers are very prime in their shape. Like that you can see like they have trained. They
must lead by example.
Yeah,
of course.
but I was able. So what they do is it's split into 4 parts. It's 400 meters. Split into 4 parts.
400 meters.
100 meters. So they have an officer in front. So the guy, you have to chase the officer, which is 100 meters in front.
Yeah.
Right, and to get like a reward kind of thing.
What was the reward?
A beer.
Okay, sure.
like a free carton of beer or something like that.
Okay, why not?
So I was chasing. So I'm like, okay, let's see how far I can go. I don't really miss the beer.
Yeah.
But I was like trying to see how far I can go. So I was like chasing, and I was able to chase like half of the platoon, half of the squad that's running in front of me for the 100 meters.
50%, okay.
So I'm like and they're all running as well, right? So like my strength is my speed is okay.
So can you attribute all this growth from boxing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't know why, because I don't do a lot of running. I don't do a lot of road work. Like once in a while every week, maybe like every 2 weeks run one time.
Correct.
And I wasn't going very quick on running and stuff like that. It's just
but you don't have to run to improve cardio. Whatever you do in boxing class, it'll be good lah. I'm pretty sure if you start doing runnings, you start running, maybe once or twice a week, your IPPT's running will be better, even better. But no, I mean boxing forces you to practice all sorts of the spectrum of conditioning, your power, your speed, your cardio, everything. And it's not. I'm pretty sure you find it's not easy, right, to go through all those. Especially my one. What's that? The pyramid. Sure got that one. Pyramid, and then what else? The speed punches 5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Then the last 10 seconds are going crazy.
Yeah. So all this adds up lah. It's you don't have to practice running to practice your cardio, to improve your cardio. You can do even swimming, right? But boxing goes through all the spectrums lah. Sometimes it's more cardio, sometimes it's more power, sometimes it's more speed. But throughout that 6, 7, 8 months, you will go through everything, right? So like I think boxing helps a lot of people, not just physically. I think the most important part was, like for me lah, I can safely say, right, without boxing I wouldn't be here. Can I say boxing saved my life? Yeah. it does lah, in a certain sense. Yeah, because without boxing, man, I don't know what I'll do, yeah.
I mean, like it's kind of like a weird deviation. Like it's a maybe I come in a little bit too. I'm still very young-ish. Like my
You're my age, right? Three.
No, as in like my boxing career.
Oh yeah lah.
like when I first started boxing, it's like about less than a year ago.
Yeah.
So it's slightly more than a year ago. Sorry, slightly more than a year ago.
2020 lah.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah. So it's like it's just like a weird blend of like I would not say it saved my life per se, but it acts like a dimension or perspective to it.
Yeah, I think not to my extreme lah, but I think boxing does help improve people. You know, the right word I can think of is self-development. Yeah, I like out from the boxing gym, right? Will you be pushing yourself? I mean, like in a day, what I can think of, like outside of boxing, we wouldn't be pushing ourselves to the limit. I mean, physically lah, maybe mentally as well, because you have to push your physical limits higher, right? So I think that's why boxing is that's what boxing does for you. Like you are forced to, okay, not forced, but you are given the opportunity to improve yourself during that 1 hour session. And then you come every day, right? So like I said, like 1% every day. So every day is like 1% improvement. So after 6, 7, 8, 9 months, you get the rewards lah. Not the beer lah, right? But your improvement. So I think I'm quite interested to understand, like, or rather know what sort of improvement people get from boxing. Like some people want to get into the Olympic team, but I ask them why lah. They cannot give me the answer yet, right? But they are so some people, they want to get Olympic team, but they cannot give me the right answer. Like, I mean, not right answer, but they don't know.
They cannot figure out like
Why?
why I just said.
Why cannot just do it for fun and then go work in the bank or something? Why must be in Olympic? You know what I mean? It's not an easy answer.
I think we talk about it. With Eric told me about his story as well. He just want to get the
jacket. Oh yeah. So I guess that's. So I told Eric, hey, I asked him lah. No, you just want to get a Singapore jacket. I was like that I buy for you lah. No, but I understand his perspective. He wants to get that. He just wants to be that recognized place for a while lah, right? At least he went through this. At least he get to fight for Singapore before. It's a good thing to have, right? In your credential or as a story or in a podcast. Hey, last time I fight, we won, but I lost. Yeah, so that not wrong. But yeah,
because for me it's like, okay, right now it used to be like fitness.
Yeah.
Then it changed to like, okay, I want to do sparring.
Yeah.
Then for now it's like, okay, I want my one fight in.
But see, there's growth there, right? There's. I mean, you wouldn't know what you want until you try it, lah.
Yeah.
So if you want to fight, go fight, lah. And I'm pretty sure your goals will change in a granular level after your first fight.
I at that point of time I was like thinking, so what happens if my one fight in? Do I want to continue fighting or do I want to like?
You only know after your first fight. Yeah. After my first fight, do I feel I won the fight, but I wasn't happy. No. I was happy, but okay, so what's next? There's always what's next lah. Doesn't matter is it boxing or not, right? In life also, right? So I think so let's put Eric in perspective. So let's say he gets the jacket. Do you think he will stay after that? Do you think he will just stop at the jacket?
I think he will do something else.
Is that what is that? What do you think?
Combat sports related, but he would not. But I don't think he will stay in boxing.
For me, I think he will try and get a gold medal from SEA Games. I think so. So there's always what's next one. Unless in my case unless okay, I need to go to Japan, I need to settle down. Okay, fine. But I think for Eric's case, because he's still young, I'm pretty sure after he get that jacket, right, meaning he fought for Singapore, he wants to get. Maybe he's one of the best boxers in Singapore. He won't stop there already. Maybe he wants to go Olympic. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that can be quite tiring for someone lah. Especially in Singapore. When is enough?
Yeah, that's true. But you're like because I think I'm not so sure whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. But we are always like, at least in Singapore case, right? We are always like we want to plan far, but we don't know how to plan far. Like because of in the arts, in the sports, right? At least for me, it's always like evolving. Like my goals are always short-term goals. Like trying to achieve. Like I will not think that I would when I come into boxing, I would not think that I want to be a boxer and fight for Olympic thing.
Yep.
But it's more like, okay, I've done this, and I'll move to something, and my goals will change at that point of time. Like I do stand up, right? Like this is the thing that I'm doing. Then evolve, it change into something else.
Yeah.
Then it did something, then evolve and change into something else. Then you do this, then evolve and change into something else.
Yep.
So my goals are always evolving and changing. It's like that. There's no like, I do not have a long term goal. Like saying,
yeah,
say I want to be this.
Yeah, I think everyone faces the issue lah. Like how. Let's say you are 10 years old. How can you find what you want to be? Yeah, like. so let's say if you have a goal, is it influenced by external events? You know what I mean? Or is it from you yourself? Okay, so I started out same. I was evolving. So I started out as boxer. But then I tried Muay Thai. Then I realized Muay Thai not really for me because I got short legs. Then after that, so what happened was I lost 3 consecutive fights between boxing and Muay Thai. So my coach told me to stop fighting. So imagine you come into the gym, hey Gary, stop fighting. Why? You keep losing, start training. Oh, then you feel like shit lah.
Like, why do I train this for and stuff like that?
Exactly, that's how I exactly felt. So what happened was, I have a friend, Malaysian. He was fighting for 1FC, and he needed a boxing coach, or someone good in boxing lah. So he approached me lah. So what I did, I went to Jakarta with him. So shock sia bro. So we went to a 4-star hotel, Novotel, Jakarta. So the 1FC back then was called 1FC lah. Now it's called 1. So 1FC gave us money and accommodation and food for free.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's like
Holiday,
I never had. Yeah, bros. Then so after that I cornered him lah. We did all the walk-in. I did all the Vaseline thing. That back then I was still young. I wasn't really a coach back then. I was more of a fighter. I came back to the gym. Then suddenly my coach, hey, handsome in the TV. I say, why? That time you coach 1FC, your friend in 1FC, right? So now you know MMA. I say, I don't know lah, coach. So this is what he did. So in Juggernaut Fight Club is an MMA club, MMA gym. So when we have sparring, we mix all the fighters in. People who do Muay Thai, boxing, everything inside. Yeah, so Shafiq was one of our prominent fighters back then. So he was practicing for he was preparing for his MMA fight. He asked me, hey, Jake, you know wrestling, right? Okay, you spar MMA with them. We're like, what the fuck? but they don't know. They don't know that I did wrestling before. Yeah, I was one of the pioneers in Singapore wrestling. Not the Grapple Max, not Grapple Max, but Olympic wrestling. So I took them down, all of the coaches, just by one move, double leg takedown. That's the only thing I know lah. Sekali, a few days later, hey Jake, come, you start practicing for MMA. So that's the part where I realized, I'm actually discovering my strengths throughout that 4 years. Boxing isn't my strength, Muay Thai isn't my strength, but taking all the good parts of striking and grappling is my strength, combining to one. So I did very well in MMA lah. I even fought for the championship belt in Singapore Fighting Championship, SFC. Yeah, main event, bro. And we fought twice in one night. Twice, bro. That was the hardest. Yeah, that was the hardest thing ever. Twice in one night. Yeah, it's in YouTube lah. So I think going back to about the goals changing, I think it's meant to be evolved lah. I never thought I would be a head coach, but I'm a head coach anyway. And I never thought I would be in Japan, or rather going to Japan in 2020. Now it's 2022, and I'm going to Japan, and I'm going to jump into cybersecurity. I never thought of that. I never thought I would have a Japanese partner. So I think it's okay lah. Just evolve lor. But I think you got to know what you want lah. That's for sure. Yeah.
I think it's hard to know what you want in the first place. I think there's a lot of things you want to like. I never thought I want to do boxing until like circuit breaker.
Yeah, I think you are right. I agree that it's hard to know what you want until you try something lah. So like Haruka told me like it's okay. I think you just gotta try things and see whether it works or not lah. In Singapore, we are forced to go through a system. People who cannot adhere to the system will not be as successful in whatever term that is as others lah. That's for me. I cannot adhere to the system that well because I'm not good at memorizing things lah.
I can't do that as well. I realize I realize I can't fit into the whole traditional idea of what success is.
Yeah, which is getting a degree, right? The degree path.
The degree path to get a proper job and stuff. I struggle. I'm still struggling to find like a job to go to. It feels weird to like go into. It feels weird because it's like when you see all your friends are getting a job, like they love in one way or another,
and you're like, I can't do this because I either discovered this too late, or I can't do certain things I love because I'm not in the show business, right? I think it's because I wasn't born into I wasn't very good with my English language initially. So
and now, by now you're doing podcast, so
yeah, which is just kind of weird. Which is like the outlier of things. But I'm doing this. It's a very weird place to be. Like either I was not born with the things that I know what I want to do, and stuff like that. My dad is a welder, right? So I was born to like
well. Bloody hell. Stupid. Fuck you lah, Gary.
So my dad was so I was born into that line, right?
Yeah.
But I realized it's just such a weird thing to go. I'm not into that line. I know how I know the skills and stuff like that, but it's just not
for you lah.
Yeah, it just but it just feels like what am I doing here? I don't fit into the mold. I was walking around. I was just trying to do my own stuff, and it just the jigsaw puzzle piece is not the right piece for me lah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people are like you and I, but they're just I'm not sure what lah, but they just had to go through the system. And so let's say I have a friend who earns big figure, but he's not he's just there for the money. Does he like that job? Not really. So he rather be doing something else. So it's I think it's hard, especially in Singapore, because you need money. And this system works why? Because it will make you earn money lah. Right? Yeah. You go through the system, it will earn you money. You don't earn money. But if you don't do this, then you get to do what you like. But doing what you like doesn't necessarily earn you money. So it's a bit hard lah. So it's quite hard. But I think there's always, it's not too late to always figure out your passion. Like for me, I just figured out that I like coding. I never thought that I like coding. I never thought I never thought that this coding thing wasn't as intimidating as I thought until I tried it. So I think it's never too late lor. No, really. I like, what the fuck, for the past 20 years, I always thought coding sucks. Why? Because the only reason why, because I find it intimidating only. That's the only reason why I never try. Until I try, like, okay leh, then I feel smart now, because you see the command terminal, right? Actually I feel smart, yeah.
I remember like doing coding.
You mentioned to me C++, Java, all that.
During my poly days, and I hated coding. I'm like, oh man, like how am I doing this and stuff like that. Until then, I'm like, and I realized coding is not exactly for me.
Yeah, which is fine, right? I know a lot of people do like coding, but they went through programming course, or they go through computer science course degree, but they don't like coding. So in the end, they do what? They do something else, design. Yeah.
It becomes like a creative job. It's like,
yeah.
And I think that's where you've tried to find what works for you.
Yeah, man. I think life is all about finding what you really like slowly. Till you find it, then you sustain the passion. So for me, dude, what I want to do in life next time, in 20, 30 years, in Japan, right? So I'll be staying at Chigasaki, which is at the coast. So Japan has a very strong culture in outdoor camping lah. I'm gonna set up a motorcycle cafe where we serve food that is cooked on the campfire. Right? And that place is meant for people who are traveling west to east, for them to park their bikes or whatever van, and they can also service their bikes because we have a workshop, and they can also buy outdoor camping stools. So can you imagine? Like Scruffy Murphys and Spartans. Okay. The whole shop, something like that. Center is the cafe, beside is the service center, beside is a place for you to camp out to eat your food. I don't need to earn money from there. I just want to have that place only lor. So but I need to earn money lah first. So cybersecurity is something that I'm gonna jump into because I like to respond to threats. I guess because I have this inherent nature to help people lah. So I like to respond to threats and help solve problems. especially from my SCDF background lah. So yeah, I guess cybersecurity is something that I will jump into, and because cybersecurity allows you to earn more money lah. Yeah. So yeah lor. I guess in the process to do what I really want in life, I have to earn money first. But during that earning money process, I try to do something that's related to my strengths lah. Whether I like it or not, I think that's not the point. But it's more about whether I can use my strengths. Yeah. Same like the head coach position lah. But now I'm not lah. I'm just Jake now. Yeah. Yeah lor.
Have you ever looked back and just like I wish I could be? Have you ever looked back like any point in your time in life in general and just go, I wish I could go back there again?
There where?
Like that moment in time where you just like, okay, I really enjoy myself. Like, I want to go back and stuff like that.
Which any moment in life?
Any moment.
Yes, but I keep telling myself there's no point going back. Because whatever I have now is something I need to be grateful for lah. Yeah. Because if you keep missing the past, want to go back, then whatever you do now doesn't matter already, right? So, but yeah, I mean, if there's something that you feel like doing again, then you do it lah. Yeah. But if you keep dropping it, then you must understand why you drop it lah. Right? So some people I know boxing, they in and out. Yeah.
I didn't realize how big boxing can be in part of one's life, because until like, because I got this habit of like obsessing. Like when I get into something new, I obsess about it. Then after a while later, then
dies off a bit lah.
Dies off a lot, but
a lot. Okay.
But there are and when I know it works very well is when it sustains. It just keeps burning for a long period of time. And I don't know what the length is for a long period, but I still want to buy stuff for my boxing stuff.
Yeah. It fits your soul.
Yeah. So it's just kind of weird. Like, okay, this is my new pair of gloves. I was like, why? I still have.
But you feel happy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I just bought like the wrapper, the wrap roller.
To help you roll the reps.
Yeah, I was like,
how is it? Is it good? Is it really good? Or is it just a novelty?
It works lah.
Oh, okay.
It works for me lah. Like I like, it takes a while to like tinker around and I play a bit of. But it's like it works very well. Yeah, because I remember like seeing it at Balestier. They have one that hang there.
Yeah. They even have a makeshift glove dryer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Solid like that place.
I was like, how do you buy so many stuff and stuff like that? Like, it seems like there's a lot of money that was pumped into that place and just And then there's
it's slowly. But do you feel like it's a waste of money after a while or?
No, not really. But you're also I'm now at this point is like how to upgrade my gear to work better and stuff like that. And I'm now looking at more like safety and stuff like that. We just kind of, I'm not so sure say weird, but I feel like okay right now I'm more towards like the safety of my of the fellow members in there.
Yeah.
Like I would go and buy 16-18 ounces of glove to spar rather than to like train, so that because I know my punches are gonna be very heavy.
Yeah, of course.
Because of my weight and stuff like that. Like I would try to find methods to like take care of the fellow buddies than to like going stuff like that.
Yeah, so you have a justification to think about buying stuff lah. Yeah.
But rather than just like, okay, look, how do I like and I don't go. It's just kind of weird in the sense where you would be I would think that it would be a little bit more. I'm not so sure whether selfish is a good word to use, but a little bit, maybe a little bit selfish in the sense where I want to be a better. I'm there to be the better boxer and stuff like that, rather than just like, okay, look, I'm gonna do this so that someone else's will be taken care of and stuff like that.
No, so I mean, I think number one, you are thinking about the other person. So I think that's the right thing to do lah. And number two, you also have to think about self-improvement lah. So whenever I buy something, especially boxing related, I ask myself, does this help me? So, like pets, the pets, right? So if I'm gonna buy a $30 pets and if it's gonna hurt my wrist, then why would I buy it? And number two, will it help the person feel good with the pets or not lah? So that's why I bought the $400 pets. Number one, it's winnings lah. So I mean, you know, when someone buy winnings means that guy confirm very
Committed
to boxing lah, right? But it's light as fuck, dude. Have you carried my mitts before? No? It is as light as Titus's small pets, you know, the small mitt.
yeah.
It's that light, but more padding. So yeah lah, number one, safety consideration. Number two, because I'm a coach, I'm gonna use it. Might as well buy something more worth lah. Yeah. So I think, but sometimes I try and trick myself. I need this because, but shit, I don't really need it lah. Right? Some certain things lah. Yeah. No, but I think it's good to have that points when you trying to buy something lah. Yeah, good lah.
So right now it's like the whole obsession thing is like, okay, where will I draw a line? Because I bought a pair of Fatex glove because my and I had it and I went on it and I was like, why do I want this Fatex glove when I got the Decathlon glove? Then when it comes over, then I slap my Decathlon glove on the ground, on the floor, and I slapped the Fatex glove on the ground. Like,
Why you slap it?
Huh?
Oh, you mean to feel the
to feel how hard it can go.
Right.
So it's like just when I slap the glove for the Decathlon ones, it's very hard.
Yeah.
But the Fatex one, you can feel like
there's a rebound.
Yeah, there's a rebound.
Yeah.
Then the sound is like it's not as.
It's more satisfying than the Decathlon. I understand what you mean. It is the same when I put on the winning gloves and the Decathlon gloves. I feel like, oh damn it, man. That's why.
Decathlon glove is very heavy and very hard.
So the foam they use, it's a foam lah, right? And it doesn't rebound that well. Whereas the Fatex ones and the winnings, whatever, they can rebound well. So there's this rebound and shock absorption. So the Decathlon one, the shock absorption isn't that bad. Isn't that good. But it's a good decent starting glove. Yeah.
I was like sparring with Theo and I asked Theo, hey, how do you feel about the new glove? Like is it like sticking or stuff like that versus the Decathlon one. Like how do you feel? Like, oh, it's softer and general. I'm like, okay, can I like this is the I bought it.
Yeah.
But the Decathlon one is like what, $50?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Fatex is $120 plus dollars.
Yeah, but it's nicer. Branded. so why not? Yeah.
Yes.
I have this justification now. Why would I buy a $500 gloves? Because if I stop using it, then I'm wasting my money. So I better or rather if I buy this, I will be forced to train more. Sometimes it doesn't work lah. Yeah, but that's my justification lor. I mean, as long as you are using it and your justification is to help others, I think it's okay. Try winnings also lah.
Winnings next time lah.
Yeah,
I can't afford the pair of winnings.
Yeah, like, unless I'm in Japan and ship it that will be cheaper.
It's like $500. There's another glove called Boon or something like that.
Thailand lah.
Thailand. So it's like $100 plus $200 here.
I actually I think they're all in the same factory, you know.
Well, yeah.
If I'm not wrong, is it a Fatex Boon or Twin Boons? You know twins? Yeah. I'm not sure which one is the same factory.
So it's like so they're like so it's like 100 plus and the
Boon was 200 plus. Yeah. I think as long as you like the design and it's okay lah. I think they're all genuine leather. Yeah. You have to don't forget to wipe it lah. Don't sanitize the leather leh.
No, I don't. Okay, for right now is that I use. Okay, this is what I do. I bought the one that you bought, the leather protect
Conditioner.
Leather conditioner.
Yeah.
So what I do is I use glove, right? Wet glove to wipe inside.
Yeah.
One wet glove, one dry glove. Then after that, put the bamboo shoots in.
Yeah, settle.
Then after that, use the leather protection.
Yeah, you have to clean the top first lah with water or what. Then you, but I mean, if you're very active in boxing, you need to get more than one pair. If you're going every day, let's say 5, right? I think you need to get at least 2 pairs.
I got 2 pairs.
Oh, Decathlon, right?
One is a Venom.
Oh, okay. We bought Venom. Okay.
Yeah, Venom is like $50 plus dollars.
Right.
But because my Decathlon, I have to like I have to retire. Yeah,
It's been how many months? Yeah. It's been how many months that you use every day? Shit. Yeah.
So Venom, I've been using Venom now, and it's like $40 plus.
Oh, is it so cheap?
It's so cheap in Amazon.
It's on the legit one or?
It's from Venom, but it's cheap. But it's
cheap, so cheap, $40.
Yeah,
cheap Decathlon, yeah.
and it's made in Thailand, so but I don't. But it's not genuine leather lah.
Synthetic lah.
It's synthetic leather lah. But kind right now, I still find useful. So I'm using that. Then after that, for just training alone. Then sparring will be like the ones with FedEx.
Yeah, I think that's okay lah. Yeah, it's good. As long as you have more than one pair lah. If you only have one pair that you come with it, then walao. Hand wraps also
Hand wraps I just said I've like eight pairs.
Okay.
I'm like, oh my god.
I used to have, I don't know how many, man. It's just, it can fit a whole bag, bro. Last time, and I saw what I used them for is the slip line. Yeah, I retired them to use them for slip line lah, to make a end-to-end line. That's it. Yeah. No, but because if you only use one pair, then your gloves is gonna break. Very quickly. Especially if it's not real leather.
Yeah.
Like the Decathlon ones lah. FedEx solid lah. Next time you want winnings, let me know. 250 USD in Japan.
Oh really? Yeah. That's still not as expensive.
Yeah, people have to mark up the price here lah.
Man, I'm like $500 a pair. Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it lah. Unless they sell it cheaper there. Yeah.
And so here's this thing about like reps, right? How many? Okay, because I see like there's 10 pairs online for ringside. It's 180 each, so it's about 4.8 meters. 4.5 meters. Like,
4.5, yeah.
Like I feel like that's cheaper compared to, because it seems like every boxing equipment right now has marked up a lot. Even
that's true. Probably because of demand as well.
Yeah, Decathlon also marked up their prices.
Really?
Yeah, their wraps is from $5 to $8 now. Individual pairs.
Oh yeah. It used to be $4, dude. I used to buy it for $4, man. Damn, that was long time ago lah.
Yeah. So it's like, oh my god, it's just like every boxing equipment kind of like marked up like crazy. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, I'll rather buy in bulk and online maybe now.
Yeah.
Since I know what I want.
It's always just good to buy in bulk lah anyway.
Yeah.
No, especially if you train this kind of things is part of your etiquette as a boxer. Part of protecting your friend is also not to knock him out with the smelly gloves lah, right? Yeah. So, yeah, also to your own health lah.
Yeah.
Especially with the COVID thing and all, it's better to just properly sanitize your items, properly wash it. Yeah, really, one glove cannot lah. It's very bad. Yeah, you don't know what you are putting your hands and you don't know what you're putting in your mouth or eyes.
Oh yeah.
If you are using that gloves.
Yeah. It's growing faster and stuff like that. Oh my gosh! How do you get the correct ones and stuff?
Which one?
How would you get the correct gloves and stuff like that?
I think sizing is the most important. And function lah. Are you gonna use it for sparring or are you gonna use it for training lah? So I think training you don't have to wear heavy gloves. You can wear, I think for you 12 ounce is okay, or 14 ounce for training. But for sparring then 16 or 18 lah.
I'm looking at getting 10 for training.
I think 10 would be too small. Unless you are talking about back gloves, that's okay. Was that so there are different type of gloves also the cutting, like the Mexican gloves are a bit roundish where it's a bit more impactful, whereas the the flat ones, the flat top. So there are different types lah. So there are different types that also fit differently on different hands. So you got to actually test it out first. Like twins gloves, I hate it because it hurts my knuckles. Twins. Yeah, because of the cutting. Whereas Winnings, I love it because the cutting is perfect for me. Yeah. So sometimes some people don't like Winnings because of it's too soft. Whereas they prefer clay toes because clay toes is very bouncy, very impactful.
You can feel the punch.
Yeah. So I see when someone wears clay toe, alamak. Shit, man. Yeah.
Eric.
Eric, somehow a hard puncher, that bugger. Walao.
I was like trying out FedEx.
Yeah.
And FedEx is like it's bouncier, softer.
I think they're more hybrid. Yeah. So this which how much is it?
125.
Oh, okay. So yeah, then okay lah. That's okay, decent. And also quality lah. I mean, Thailand gloves are mostly made with genuine leather, so you know you're buying it for quality. Whereas actually Winnings, they don't use genuine; they use synthetic.
Oh really?
Yeah, but the synthetic leather is solid.
Oh okay.
Yeah, just like the headgear that I have, 6 years, $500.50. $550, still solid. Yeah, I mean if you want to buy something, you always think about cost lah, cost effective, right?
Yeah.
Don't buy cheap. I mean, if
You can
wanna-
start out buying cheap.
Yeah.
Because you don't know whether you'll stay for long.
Correct.
But after a while later, you just go, fuck it, I go.
Yeah, upgrade lah. Yeah. That's the best strategy lor.
Yeah.
Anything lah. TV also. I don't even watch TV anymore.
No one watches TV anymore.
Except for the uncles and aunties lah.
I mean, I don't even sit down and watch a TV series anymore.
Same Netflix at most, anime lor. I mean, I don't really.
I've never got engaged in TV series anymore. Like,
Then what do you do?
huh?
Then what do you do?
I'm busy with something else.
I mean, I guess. I think right now we can just access anything anywhere. So we just watch everything from our phone, I guess.
So thank you for doing this.
No worries, man.